Well, hi there again. This is the day where well, to be fair, we already have tried a bit, but I've got nitrogen. And what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to see if cutting stainless, 6mm stainless plate with nitrogen is better than cutting 6mm stainless plate with air only. So just, standard compressor. Which obviously comes from that one, like you guys already know. I'm going to cut out just a simple little shape, and we'll examine the cut once we've done it. I found that you've got to slow everything down quite a bit with nitrogen, and I'll show you some sample pieces in a minute, but right now I guess you'd like to see it cut. So we've just got a standard airline and follow it down through here. There we go, and straight in the back of the, oh, you can't see it too well, straight into the back of the 105. Now I understand that some big boys use nitrogen, cut quite thick stainless plate. I will explain all about that shortly. There's my nitrogen settings. So we're at 7.5 bar, which is 100 and something psi, which is what we need. The 105 only operates, I think the minimum is about 80 psi and the maximum is 135. So what I've done is I've matched that gauge to the compressor pressure, which is 7.5 bar, and that's set at 7.5 bar. So we're trying to do more or less like for like cuts, but as I'll explain, not all goes to plan. So we're just using standard XP consumables, and we'll be running at 45 amps using the machine. I think we're pretty much all set up and ready to go. So shall we just see what a nitrogen cut looks like? Let's press the F5, press the go button, and here we go. Okay, well, initial thoughts are it's absolutely no different arc-wise or plasma-wise. Let's wait for the air stop. There we go. Plasma-wise, no difference at all. The arc looks the same. It's a little bit brighter, I would say. Now let me fish out the piece of stainless. Oh, yeah. Oh, cold, wet, and horrible. Okay, so let's just let's have a little look at this now. So this is our, there we go, that's our 5mm stainless cut. It's okay. If you look at the edge, I don't know whether we can see that, whether it's going to focus. It is a lot cleaner than air only. But you can even see, look, it's a nice bluing there, so that's a nice clean, it's a properly clean cut. I've got no, like I say, it's difficult to see. Oh God, look how dirty my nails are. I've been working for a living. So yeah, so you can see, look, there's a little bit of bluing there, which is what we're looking for. Dross on the back, pretty much non-existent. Tiny little bit there, and on the front, obviously, very, very clean. So what I'm going to do now is that you can see this piece, and like I say, I'm quite, I have to say, I'm quite impressed that bluing there is so nice to see. What this means really is that A, it's easier to clean up, B, it's a lot easier to weld. You could probably TIG weld right onto that, although that's going to be a video for another day. We'll have a look. It feels beautifully smooth. It's a very nice cut, to be fair, and that's the nitrogen I'm using. Look, so it is just straightforward nitrogen at the correct PSI, and I don't know about you, but it's an alright cut. There's more beveling. There seems to be more beveling with nitrogen than there is with ordinary compressed air. Again, I couldn't tell you why, and I really don't know why. But what I'll do is that I will now cut another piece out from, I don't know, here maybe, because this is scrap. And I'll get back to you as soon as I've changed the nitrogen from nitrogen to air, and we'll have a look, a direct comparison at an air cut using exactly the same settings. I'm not going to change anything. All I'm going to do is press go again, and then we'll see where we are with it. So I'll be back in a bit. Okay, so I'm ready now for the air cut, direct from the compressor. You can see disconnected the nitrogen, and I've connected up the compressor. So we'll give it, I'm ready to go. So we'll press F5, let her go. Here we go. Okay, we'll just wait for the air to stop because it's noisy. There we go. Move that out of the way, and let's see if I can grab it. Okay. Well, straight off the bat, I think you can see we've got more dross. I haven't changed any of the settings, like I said. We've got more dross. We got a bit of beveling. It looks as though it seems to be more, and there's some dross on the top as well, which is a little bit odd, but you do get that with stainless. You can see, actually, if you look closely, you'll see the cut isn't super bad. There's a bit of browning there, but look at the sugaring of this dross because of the oxygen that's obviously in the air as it's blasting through the nozzle. So it's an improvement, that is for sure. It is definitely an improvement. And if you can see, you can actually got a direct, so that is normal air, nitrogen. So you can see there is a distinct difference. So air, nitrogen. If we flip it over, air and nitrogen. So this is the skeleton. So this is the bit that's left behind. I guess the question would be, is it actually worth it with the cost of the bottle rental and whatever? I would say if you're cutting 5mm upwards, definitely worth it. Definitely worth it, because it's such a mess to clean up. Is it worth it on thinner materials? Well, let me show you this. We've got an array of parts that we've cut out, and to say that this is me and the guys this morning, we were having a little bit of playtime. Say that we were underwhelmed. That's the two bits, and you can obviously see there's a difference between the two. Yeah, I mean, you look at that, that's the nitrogen cut, that's the oxygen cut. Big difference. When it came to cutting out mild steel with nitrogen, here is a part we cut out with nitrogen. The cut's clean. You can see it's just blued. The cut's clean, but it does something really strange. The dross on the back is almost like you've TIG welded that on. It does not come off. It's horrible. Yeah, I mean, the cut, yeah, is a little bit bluing look. It's quite good. Don't mind that at all. Here's another part we cut out. Yeah, again, this is an air cut. Okay. This is some thin stuff we tried cutting. It's thin stainless. Yeah. not too bad, not much different than air. And that's the point I'm trying to get across, is that it seems to me, I mean, I'm sure it's settings, a lot of it's settings, but it seems to me that a lot of fiddling and faffing's required to get it to cut stainless well. If we look at some of our some of the better attempts, but probably this one's probably one of the better ones. You can see we need to get our lead in, lead out sorted out, because we've got that discoloration there and there, so you can see where the arc started and where it finished. On the whole, though, I mean, that is very smooth. You know, you could run your parts up and down that without fear of cutting your doodad, that's for sure. And the back, it is still clean. You know, where the arc starts and where it stops, like I'm saying, you just got to mess around with a whole bunch of settings and kind of get it work. But there's not a lot of work required to tidy that up. Yeah, I don't know whether you can see that really. It's just my cameramanship is absolutely appalling. If we look at, here's some steel we cut, and the same thing. This is only 2mm steel. Same thing, nice blue edges, and you're thinking, oh, we're onto a winner here. You try getting that off. Try getting that dross off. It just doesn't come off. The only other real surprise, if I can find it, which of course I can't, was... here we go. Aluminium. The aluminium, again, this is the part. The cuts are excellent. That is straight off the machine. Really, really good cuts. The usual little bit of alley dross, but nothing compared to what you get when you cut. I don't think we did air cut any aluminium, to be honest. But there we go. I mean, that's another piece we cut out. No clean uplet. That's the plasma marks there. Yeah. And there's another one. I mean, that is straight off the machine, look. No dross. That's the underside. And that's the upper side. No cleanup. The big surprise in all of this, as far as using nitrogen is concerned, is it seems the thicker stainless cleans better. So if you were cutting probably 10mm, 12mm stainless, nitrogen is definitely the way to go, because you can easily direct weld onto that, and the dross is so minimal. It's not worth messing around with. Mild steel is an absolute no-no, because the dross, maybe it could be settings, I don't know. We did try a few settings and we did try a few different things, but we found on the whole that it just welded the dross to the underside. I guess you've got that inert part about nitrogen gas, where oxygen isn't getting in, it's not oxidizing, it's just melting it, and it's rolling underneath and sticking, you know, to the underside. We messed around with various pressures settings on the regulator, because that's a new regulator that I've bought solely for this purpose. So, you know, that goes up to, you know, usable kind of 15, 16 bar if you wanted to. So you can just crank that all the way up. But you've got to be careful not to go above the 135 psi that the 105 is rated for. Otherwise, you can start doing some bad stuff to the insides of the machine. So, you know, 7.5 bar is what the compressor works at, and is what all of these cuts have been cut at. So there you go. What's the takeaway? Well, I think that if you look at those two parts, there's a definite difference, completely untouched. You can tell there's a difference there straight away. On the left, look, is nitrogen. That tiny bit of bluing is a lot smoother cut. And the oxygen is just, or you know, the air, if you like, direct from the compressor, does leave it pretty shitty. So there we go. I thought I'd fill you in on that. I've been dying to try this all week. I haven't had a chance. We've just been too busy, and yeah, we are where we are with it. There's still a few things that I need to sort out, but on the whole, that's nitrogen cutting with a 105 plasma for you. If you like the content, please like and subscribe. Do appreciate it, as always. And any questions, I've been doing my very best to get back as soon as I see them pop up on my phone to get back to you guys. But I just thought this was a massively interesting experiment. The next one is on its way. I did talk about last video that we would be looking at laser, so we shall see. Yeah, I think that's one that might be a little while in the making, but I will keep putting in some little shorts every now and again, showing this bad boy doing its business, and hopefully, hopefully we can do nothing but improve this and find new ways of doing old stuff. The nitrogen thing was a lot of fun. It really was. A little bit stressful to start with because I didn't have the right connectors to connect the bottle to to connect the hose to the regulator. But there we go. Anyway, like I say, appreciate you all tuning in for stuff like this, and I will see you on the next one. Take care now. Cheers.